member from London North Centre.
Well, thank you, Speaker. And my question also is not for our superstar Minister of Health and Long-Term Care. It is for the Minister of Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation. Speaker, our government is committed to creating fairness and opportunities for all Ontarians. However, barriers to economic participation and continuing inequality in income and employment rates are major challenges for Indigenous peoples in Ontario, particularly in Northern Ontario. Over the past 15 years, Liberal governments have taken many actions in close collaboration with our Indigenous partners to drive economic development and build a better future for Indigenous communities after years of inaction, neglect, and worse under the Harris Conservatives. Can the minister tell us more about how our government is supporting Indigenous communities to fully participate in our economy?
Thank you. Minister of Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, since 2008, we have provided $136 million through our new relationship fund to close the socio-economic gap and support Indigenous economic participation, including nearly $25 million for First Nation in Kiiwetinoong. Our $95 million Indigenous Economic Development Fund, which the PCs voted against in 2014, has provided $25 million in funding to date. It'll provide another $70 million in additional funding over the next 7 years. Our Indigenous Community Capital Grants program has provided $34 million in funding to key infrastructure projects. And through our $650 million Aboriginal Loan Guarantee Program, a major initiative under the Green Energy Act, which the PCs say they will repeal, we have continued to support meaningful participation in renewable energy projects for Indigenous communities in Ontario.
Supplementary.
Well, thank you, Speaker. The PCs say they support economic development for Indigenous communities. But actions speak louder than words, Speaker. The truth is they've consistently voted against the key investments we're making to support Ontario First Nations. Education is key to Indigenous economic development and to reconciliation, and it's a shame that the Conservatives voted against our landmark OSAP overhaul, which has helped drive a 35% increase in 1 year, Speaker, a 35% increase in the number of Indigenous students receiving OSAP over the past year. What's more, just this December, they voted against the historic $56 million investment in Indigenous institutes, allowing Indigenous learners to gain the skills they need to be successful in the workplace. Speaker, can the minister tell us more about how our government, despite this lack of support, is actively supporting?
Thank you. Stick to policy. Minister.
Speaker, the fact is the PCs have no real plan for Indigenous economic development. They voted against our Fair Hydro Plan and the First Nations Delivery Credit, which were commended by none other than Ontario Regional Chief Isidore Day as an important step to reduce poverty and support economic development. They voted against our landmark $1 billion commitment to the Ring of Fire infrastructure in the Matawa Tribal Council area. Speaker, reconciliation is more than words. Speaker, it's about action. By voting against key actions we were taking, the PCs made it clear they are not with us on Ontario's journey towards reconciliation. Billions in cuts are coming if the PCs form the next government.